traders and investors alike were green today. I hope the investor side is well hedged to maximize their potential this pullback in the market and to protect their positions. I know a lot of people are down. The crypto market's beaten down really bad due to Celsius. I'm sure everybody's heard about that. Um, it can be a little scary. We have crypto out there too, or I have crypto out there too, and it's not through Celsius, but it's a little scary knowing that you may possibly not get your money back. Uh, so a very interesting day. We are now in a bear market. I'm sure everybody's hearing plenty about that, so we're not going to harp on that. We warn the Discord that they may be overhearing that tonight, because I know people were waiting to scream it. All of our opinions. We've been into a bear market. We have assets that are 70, 80, 90% down from their highs, um, and the rest of the indices are beat down as well. So, but it was a good day. A lot of good opportunities. We didn't get the range in that at first that I would like to see, but we were able to make money in this market. That's the awesome thing about day trading and our style. We can make money in any market conditions. Some days are better than others, but today was a good day. My mind said I was pretty much bearish. Not saying I wasn't opening any calls, but I was pretty much bearish on the market. Figuring we were going to chop more or less pull back, and that's usually what Mondays are in OPEC day. This week is just not an ordinary week, as we've talked about. We have OPEC, we have Quad Witch, we have uh, Big Daddy Powell. Wednesday, the meeting. Then we have his press conference. Then Big Daddy Powell speaks again on Friday. So, and when Powell speaks, he moves the market, and things happen. It's just all potential. Whatever happens, I'm not saying I definitely don't want to go into recession, but as a trader, whatever happens to the market really doesn't affect me because I can trade any direction in any condition. So, and that's huge when we're seeing traders who can't. They only can trade bullish setups, and they don't know options and shorting, and so they're just sitting on the sidelines with their cash in hand, waiting to deploy, or coming in chasing candles and just constantly getting wrecked. And then Wall Street Journal, they released a article today, and I was in a trade. I took a entry on for puts right here at the confirmation of this candle, the close of this candle into this one, and it was moving nicely. I was up about 8%. Took some profits, and then the a article was released by Wall Street Journal, basically just about the rate hikes tomorrow, and it was almost like somebody was testing the order to see how the market would like it, to be honest. But got this nice volume bar. So when that news come out, the market seemed like it liked the news, and we went right back up to our original triangle here that we were looking for a breakout of. Wedge play, a couple different names we could call it, but our little triangle here, when it broke down, we broke down here and come down here, and when it went up, I stayed in the trade. I didn't just get out, and was able to get out. I went ahead to exit the trade. I got back green and let it grow just a little bit, and just jumped out because of the volume coming in. Was unsure how the market was getting ready to react. Now this thing moved about 50% from my entry to where it started and reversed and went back up. So it would have been a really nice trade. It was a green trade. Happy. It was a little risky, and didn't plan on staying in it very long anyway, because we were looking for a profit target of around the bottom of the triangle itself. So we wouldn't have been in it, or not saying I wouldn't have stayed into it, but there wouldn't have been many contracts left into it towards the end anyway, because that was the profit target at the bottom of this triangle. So it wouldn't have had too much farther to come anyway. But just an all-around good day. I did trade the SPY once. I seen the group. You guys were hammering the SPY. The SPY pays the bills. Now let's go to Tesla. Tesla's also been paying the bills, without a doubt. 4 green trades on it today. Um, entered in several different places, but there's several different opportunities here to get in. Like when you're downtrending, you don't really want to buy this unless you're sure of a breakout. If you're, versed in breakouts and have studied breakouts or trading breakouts, then you know what to look for to catch these breaks. But if you're struggling, then try something else. Try to start entering. So you're seeing your 9 is resistance. You're seeing your 20 is resistance. So come back to tap that 20, especially here at the BWAP. That would have made a nice entry. I actually took an entry right down here. I thought we were going to break lower, and we did, but we pushed back up first. But there was several different trade opportunities on this today, from coming up to the long sides for some calls and for some puts heading to the downside. So Tesla's just it felt like it had a little better range. It was still tight, tighter than usual, but it felt like it had a little better range to it than the SPY. I know we can't compare dollars with the two assets. Uh, Microsoft held in a lot better than the market itself, so that's a good sign. Seeing all that dark pool activity we've seen come in on it, and to see it hold up today when the rest of the market's pulling back. We've seen a little more. We talked about the in last night's video that we've seen a little more, talked about what we've seen coming in right before market open, which was really nothing coming in of any importance really. But we just want to point out that how Microsoft is holding in a lot better, a lot of relative strength here compared to the market. Apple as well. Apple held in better than the market. So you can see when the market was pulling back, Apple was chopping. Would have made it very hard to trade. I know there was a couple trades in the Discord today, and great job for getting in, getting your profits, and getting out, and not getting caught up in the chop. There was seems like some rotation into a little bit of the value type plays or defense names. We'll take a look at them in a minute. But you can see AMD here right into our fib level, right at open, rejected. AMD's got this thing. AMD respects these levels very, very well. And there's a good chance that if you don't take that level out, you're coming down. Um, we have another one down here. So tomorrow morning, we're going to be watching, see how it acts with 87.76. Now, I want to say we haven't dug into the oscillators and the sediment charts that we use, but we are pretty getting pretty warm to the oversold side of things. So, and we'll definitely talk about them in the morning when everything's updated to put the calls completely. All the information's on the chart that's needed. But so some defensive names like Cisco, an older company. Big pockets. This traded nicely today. It was a grind. I mean, this is not one of those ripping type plays, but for the 5-minute chart to grind up like that, you could have drawn a line right here. You can see every time below the 9, you get these little pops. So there was opportunities there today as well. Let's see. Let's go look at IBM. I know that's one that we called in early on in the market today, and you can see how it ripped, come back, trended up again nicely. This right here would have been a nice opportunity. You can start to see the wicks got below the 9 here. You could have had enough room to get in to close below this candle. You could have got in there. You, of course, would have been ready to take profits if you've seen any kind of resistance at that 20, because you did bounce off the 20 over here, but you could have tried there. For me, the more conservative trader would have been the test of that candle right there. When that candle tested right there, that would have been an entry as well. Coming down here, you can see where we found a support area. Can see it kind of lines up with this pre-market level, but it doesn't give us a good. I like it when I can spot a level like a flag somewhere where I can possibly see a reaction at. This helps me find targets here and there. McDonald's as well had a good day. Another old company, big pockets, value name, that had a really decent push, low on volume. wasn't any big volume into it, but it had a really nice push. Um, and some of the names that we had in last night's video, we talked about, been talking a little bit about the inverse ETS. They're tradable if you're not used to trading puts, or if you don't know how to trade options. These things are very tradable. You can trade options on these too. This is the TLT we look at in the mornings, the 20-year. This is the short for that same 20-year chart. Then there's SARK. We had this last night talking about if this market pulls back, ARK's probably going to take a hit and SARK would probably push, and that would have made a nice win in trade. It's PLTR, Palantir. They had a falling wedge on their chart, and it would be a little unfair when the whole market pulled back to show how nicely that falling wedge worked today. Um, that one, if you would have took that trade out of last night's video, then you would have been on time with it. Turn this VWAP off. A lot of the plays we've been putting in these videos have been working. The VIX play, that worked very well. We talked about it, showed a chart, and talked about how there was a divergence there, and the VIX was probably going to catch up. CYN today kept coming across our squawk as a volume pop and had several different things going on with it, and you can see the daily candle right into the 20. So if you were in this, obviously, you'd be checking all your time frames, but in your daily, you would have known, hey, my 20's coming up here. If you were getting it from down here, you would know. I checked my daily chart, so I know I have resistance in this area. Seeing this nice trend up and this big candle here breaking below that 9, that's like, hey, it's time to get out. Not saying it can't push back up. We're not saying that's a guaranteed trade every time you break below your 9, but there's a good chance right there. And you can see your MACD at that point looks nice and strong. The next candle, as it opens up, you can start to see it crashing. On that red candle, you can see how that MACD is turning. Doesn't mean it won't pinch. The next candle, you're ready to cross. The next candle you did cross, it's time. Hey, it's time to get out. For me, I would like to be below the 20 here, and I probably would have scalped that move if I would have traded it to the downside. Most of my scalps are quick in and outs, or most of my puts are just quick scalps in and outs for the most part. AGRI had some news on it today as well. We had a really nice pop on that. So nice push, volume coming into it. Oracle after hours. So Oracle here after hours pushed on a earnings beat and pushed nicely. Just, we talk about this all the time. We push up, we're not going to get that far from the 9. We talk about this all the time. That price action is only going to get so far away from your 9. And price hung out here till the 9 could catch up. When 9 caught up, they worked together, got it together, and pushed. Nice setup. KAVL is another one that popped that we need to keep our eyes on. This had some news on it as well. Made a really nice push. And this had several opportunities. This just didn't pop like that. So this pushed, come back in, flag to your 9, pushed, flag to your 9, pushed, flag to your 9. Now you can see the difference from this push to that push. So basically, your flagpole. So you got the distance of your flagpoles showing you that we don't have as much momentum as we had here. There's not as much strength as we had there. You're getting closer to your MAs. Still perfect MAs here. This is perfect. They are layered and gapped. So you got the 9, you got the 20, you got the 50. Look at the size of the gaps in that. That's showing you that there is momentum into this stock. So this is a strong stock. So when you're catching a flag here, you may not have caught that, but after it pushed, seeing this gap here, seeing how layered you are, the gap right there, that's just a sign of momentum. And with all that's going on, you got a nice MACD here, so you can tell the strength in the MACD. But as you're getting closer, you can see how the MACD comes in, the gap shrinking right there. Look at your histogram pulling back right there. So you're seeing this is the type of strength you had. And remember, bright green stronger, momentum's leaking when you're seeing a dark green. Then you got this bright green candle off of that flag right there. So that's letting you know, hey, stock's still strong. Then you see the momentum leaking out of it. So you wouldn't want to keep jumping in after, depending, you could still get here and try for a scalp, but you would have to recognize it's a scalp getting up there. But we're just trying to point out some more things. The MACD is actually, a lot of people, it's undervalued. It is a very powerful tool, and a lot of people are not looking at it properly. Um, you're also seeing some divergences here in your histogram as well, and we want to talk more about that with the divergences, but we'll probably do a video about them first before we start talking about them. Well, great job today in the Discord. I hope to see everybody in the trading room tomorrow. If you see anything here that's helping you, please subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you and have a good day. Happy trading tomorrow.